Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another video from our little Officer A to Z series. And today I want to talk about another epic officer. But before I talk about Odo, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel. And when you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. But now let's have a look at Odo. He is class command, which means you need command badges to upgrade him. He's from the group Deep Space Nine. That means if some other from that group is captain of a ship and you put Odo on the bridge with him, then Odo can give synergy to that captain. And he's from the faction Federation, which means you need Federation faction credits to upgrade him. Although he never was in the Federation. Bajor, which he was working for, never was in the Federation as long as he was there, and then he went back to the Dominion. But, well, you need Federation faction credits. And if you didn't know what I was talking about because you haven't seen Deep Space Nine, there is, in this case, a little bit of a longer text to explain who Odo is. You know that always there is a text about the characters in this info box as well for you to read to know more about them if you haven't seen certain series or movies. Or there are characters you don't even realize from series or movies. But as you can hear in what I said earlier is that he does not have a captain maneuver. That's why he cannot get synergy if he's captain. But he does have an officer ability and a below deck ability. So he's one of the below deck ability officers as well, which are usually quite nice. But his officer ability is fluid strength. Well, he's a changeling or a shapeshifter, and so that's where the name comes from. Odo increases base armor, shield deflection, and dodge by 50% against solo armadas. So he is a good combination, for example, for Jadzia Dax and Julian Bashir, if you use them for solo armadas, and Odo is another one that can help out on the bridge if Jadzia or Julian is captain and you want to do a little bit more for your own ship strength against those solo armadas. And then he has a below deck ability that's called Right as Might. I mean, he was always for order, but Odo increases critical hit damage by 25%. And so wherever you need critical damage, and for the Gorn, for example, critical damage is good because the critical damage causes more damage overall, and that increases the isolated cascade damage that you're causing with Janeway, for example. And so having Odo below deck in these occasions is not a bad choice. So if you want to go against Gorn, then Odo, Nurse Chapel and so on are very good choices. Nurse Chapel I use for the loot on the bridge, but otherwise when you need critical and isolatic, she would be a good choice then below deck as well. But that's why Odo is a good choice for that as well, and not only against a certain kind of enemies, because that's working generally against hostiles, armadas, players, and so a quarter more critical hit damage is quite nice indeed. But as an epic officer, he also does have 3 possible traits for away team assignments. That's Deceptive, Survivor, and Adaptable. But as you can see, I didn't upgrade that too much because I from time to time really use Odo below deck, usually less for solo armadas nowadays because my other crews are stronger than the Jadzia crew, but I use him below deck for the critical hit damage, and that helps a little bit more. Also helps, by the way, we did another test on the Xindi armadas recently, and so there it helps as well that you can cause more critical damage. But if you have different choices of officers, you of course can send them out, because Deceptive is something that's needed regularly in away team assignments, so that would be quite useful, the same as Survivor and Adaptable. So he would be a very good choice for that as well if you don't need him on your ship. There's just one problem with Odo. You know that I'm working on charts for where to get officers. So I will show you for every officer where to source those officers. But I haven't completely finished those charts yet, because I'm also waiting for 3 events to come up. The first one will be Incursion, I talked about this morning, because they are regularly the same officers in the event store. So that's why I wanted to include that in the charts. But I will have to look at the others again, because even with this temporary recruit, which I will not include in the charts because it ends in 4 days, I haven't found a source for Odo yet. I have a source for Changeling Kira, which looks quite similar to Odo, but not for Odo himself. So we will not have a regular place to get Odo shards at the moment. So he might come up in something new later, or will be added to something later, because there are especially changes regularly. With regularly, I mean long time regularly. Changes here in the transport and pattern part, so he may show up at some point here, but at the moment when I'm filming this, he is not in here either. And so today I cannot tell you any regular source where to get him. In events or so, in single events you might find him, and I might find him somewhere in the other events, but that would be new. Usually I only saw an Incursion in the game events itself, where Harrison and Julian Bashir, and in the event store then the Strange New World strike team, or the strike team officers. But there's no regular one where I saw Odo so far while I was working on those charts. And so unfortunately I cannot tell you a source for Odo, except to wait for events or that they include him somewhere, because he's also not in the Bajoran faction store. If you know something I've overlooked, please put it in the comments, but I looked thoroughly recently, so I don't think I did. But if I did, let me know in the comments. But also, if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I regularly read your comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.